dude.
Yeah, we got a pro in studio with us today.
I know, man. You're ready, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna replace you or me or.
I've been thinking about coaching him up like in between shows, but I'm afraid he's gonna take my job.
Oh, I
so
know.
yeah,
Oh,
like
man,
today
yeah.
I was gonna have us introduce our guests, do the whole shebangy bang, but
Yeah.
I get paid for this, so
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
keep it that way. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So we got awesome show again today, as usual. We got
Roderick, Gary here in the studio, and Gabe Leal from Pima Community College. You know, it's
which we've been really looking forward to having them on the show.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
I've gone to Pima Community College. I think you've gone to Pima Community College.
I went to
Pima
Community
we're both.
College, yeah.
We both attended Pima Community College, so it's near and dear to our heart.
Yes.
So we're excited today to be able to promote the amazing work that they're doing.
Thank you.
And in the second half of the show, we're going to have somebody with the Women's Leadership and Wellness Center with the YWCA, Liane Hernandez. And needless to say, Andreas Ruiz does it again, bringing some action-packed power move guests to our show today.
Yes, sir.
This is going to be a really good one. What do you think, Tristan? You think this is going to be a good one?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, you can tell with the enthusiasm of the 14-year-old. It's
Let's
go.
Let's
go. And then also, I guess the great news is this is our 1-year anniversary.
I know,
we
man.
Have been
Wow,
bringing,
congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
job.
Man,
I know.
it's a trip,
I know.
huh? Man,
I almost want to take a walk down memory lane, but I think we do it so often. But yes, congratulations to us.
Congratulations to us.
Been
Yeah,
doing
absolutely,
it for
man.
a year, over
Yes.
52 episodes of entertaining the Tucson community and highlighting amazing organizations
Absolutely.
like we have on today.
Yes, sir.
About the amazing work they do. Because when we first started the show, much like Veteran Rescue Mission or I Believe in Myself, we realized we are organizations that are doing good, that are diamonds in the rough in our community, that really don't have a platform to talk on. So I feel so blessed to have this to provide for not only ourselves, but all the amazing organizations in Tucson that are here.
Absolutely.
But before we get this party started, I'm going to do what I do every single show. We've done it over 52 times now, where we give the grace to a loving Father that has blessed us very much, has continued to honor us with blessings so much, having my oldest son being here in studio to spend time with me to do this radio show that we've been doing for a year. And we're going to show some grace to that Father by saying the Lord's Prayer. And it goes a little something like that. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, man. Let's get this started. I'm super excited to just be here with you, man. And again, blessed to be here with such amazing people. And Roderick and Gabe, I've been working with them very closely, man. Two amazing gentlemen that I just have a lot of love for them, and have been working with them, and just been an absolute honor, man. So I'm really grateful to have you gentlemen here.
Mutual.
Yeah. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us. And again, it's an honor your anniversary having us here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Props to you guys for doing this.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Actually,
Thank you.
in thinking of it, I couldn't think of a better guest, a better organization to have on
Absolutely.
for a year. Because, if anything, after a year of doing this, we got Pima Community College
I know,
on the
man.
show. Man,
Yeah,
that's
this
a
is
big
cool.
deal. So thank
Absolutely.
you guys, really.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
We're very fortunate to work for Pima. I am.
Yeah.
It's a great place to work.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you guys. So so just I'll ask Roderick. Tell us what is the program Pima that's that's called Trio. Tell us about Trio, and tell us a little bit about Pima, what you guys do.
Let me give you a little bit of the Trio background and the history.
Absolutely.
Our program, which is the Talent Search program, Educational Talent Search, which is in 3 schools, it was started in 1989, in the mid-'80s, at the college by some gentlemen with a vision and imagination. And so, obviously, we've been going for about 35 years.
Nice.
We're actually in the process of waiting on the feds to give us our renewal for our next 5-year grant, which should come sometime in the next
Mhm.
6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Um,
So
It's-
that's why your fingernails are looking so short.
yeah, I've been biting them a little bit, but
Yeah.
we've been doing pretty good work,
Mhm.
and I'm fairly confident. But,
Awesome.
but you never know with the feds, right?
Yeah. It's a wait. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
So the trio genesis, the beginning, and most of you guys, I'm the only one in here, I'm afraid, who's old enough to remember this history. 'Cause this was an LBJ project,
Okay.
President Johnson. This was the Great Society, and trio was part of his vision for making education more equal.
Equal.
Mm.
Mhm.
There was Talent Search, and there was Upward Bound,
Mm.
which is a similar program, which is a little more strenuous. We like to say there are about 5 programs in the trio family.
Mm.
There's Student Services, which you'll find at the U of A and at Pima.
Mhm.
And, there's our program, which works with high school and sometimes middle school kids.
Mm.
And then
Upward
Upward
Bound?
Bound works strictly with high school kids who are higher achieving, let's say.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
But there are about 5 programs.
And one more.
We are, one more?
Upward Bound veterans.
Upward Bound's veterans.
Okay.
That's
I
right.
know you
That's
say
right.
you're a veteran.
Which we're going to
Nice.
hook
Oh,
you
wow.
up with.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
We're
Interesting.
going to get you in touch with. But I like to say we're the Disneyland program,
Okay.
because whereas the other programs are a little more strenuous, you got to be a veteran to get
Mhm.
into that program.
Mhm.
You
Yes.
paid your dues. We take a bunch of kids who want to find out about college and education and going someplace, and then we take them there.
Mhm.
So we
Mhm.
take them to NAU, and we
Yes.
spend a day up in Flagstaff touring the school. Then we go and look around. We go up to ASU and tour the campus, and take them somewhere in Phoenix to eat and have lunch, and
Mm.
and go someplace they maybe haven't gone before. And twice a year, before COVID, we got to go out of town, out of state.
Mm.
So we go to California, Texas, New Mexico. We've taken the kids as far away as southern Utah to
Nice.
visit colleges.
Huh. That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And so, Gabe, what inspired you to join this type of work, man? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my history has been in education.
Okay.
I also served in the military.
Thank you for your
Nice.
service,
Yeah,
brother.
thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Thank you, boss. So what inspired me was education. That's where I started. I
Mm.
worked in California as an elementary educator.
Oh, nice.
I think most of my education that I taught was 2nd grade, 3rd grade.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Younger kids.
That's one of the best ages,
Yes,
bro.
great kids. One of the best times of my life as far as teaching. After that, I moved back to Rio Rico after my tour in Afghanistan, and I applied for Gear Up. It's a similar program, also federal
Grant money.
grant money, yes.
Mhm.
Nice.
And I worked there for a couple years in Santa Cruz County, and then I moved back here to Tucson, and then I applied to Trio.
Mhm.
Nice.
And
Nice.
again, I have a passion for working with students,
Mhm.
the kids, and it's been a great opportunity to be working for Pima.
Nice.
Nice.
Gabe interviewed with me
Hmm.
about a year ago.
Okay.
We had an
Yes.
opening in a position. Someone
Uh-huh.
else got promoted, and he was one of about 6 candidates.
Uh-huh.
Man, I was so struck with his aura.
Nice.
Mm.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
Yeah, I could
That's
tell.
cool.
He puts off some good energy. I
Yeah.
could tell both you guys. You
Yeah.
just
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of like,
Absolutely.
just very
Keep going.
welcoming
Thank you for that.
individuals.
And
Yeah.
I was working for Pima prior to.
Welcome to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by the Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm here with Pastor John McClain and Andreas Sherwees. I couldn't get it out.
Good
Yeah.
job, dude.
I think you
Man,
did
this
great,
guy,
yeah.
he's got it, man.
Yeah.
He's got it. Yeah. Man, okay. I got a little bit carried away there. But welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. We are here back with Roderick and Gabe. And, we're having a great conversation about Pima, the TRIO program. And, just so grateful to have you gentlemen here, man. So I'm really excited to just be in the studio and in person.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you for having us.
You and
Yes.
I have talked many times, and I've sat in and listened to you. So it's always a pleasure to share thoughts and ideas with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
And
man.
I
So-
do apologize for missing that breakfast.
Oh, no way.
He's
yeah.
only apologizing because I was buying.
Yeah, that was good. Good breakfast, man.
I got that email kind of late, but I would have been there. I would have been there.
Cool. Yeah, no, we had a good time. It was a good breakfast. But and speaking of the TRIO program and all this good stuff, for any parents that are interested in joining TRIO, what does that process look like to join this program?
Well, we have a application
Application.
process, and we pass them out, and we're often at events. Now, it gets a little tricky in that our program, Talent Search, is only at 3 high schools in town. The two Sunnyside schools, Desert View and Sunnyside High, and then Pueblo High and the TUSD.
Okay.
So you can't actually work with our program if you're outside of those three schools. However, there are some other programs that we could probably link you with or turn you on to.
How are those three schools selected? I know it's kind of maybe an odd question.
No, it's a great question because it really is a criteria. It's based on the ethnic makeup of the schools. If you think about it, those are the three largest Hispanic and minority schools in the districts.
Low income.
And low income levels. So it is a very, very important point. You know. Now, once we but you know, I tell parents, because I do have parents come up to me, John, and they say sometimes, how do we get in? Our kid goes to one of the other TUSD schools, and I say, well, here's the thing, it's very popular, and you got this young man who looks like he may one day burgeon into a good athlete or something. And
he's a pretty good soccer player.
Okay,
yeah.
And you're gonna make a decision at one point, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. Do we want to send him to this school or that school? Who's got a better program? Who's other parents make their decisions on academics, where they want to send a kid, if they want to send them. We have the magnet programs in TUSD for that very same thing, to key on interest. So I tell our parents, okay, if you're a TUSD student and it's viable, and you want to make sure your kid gets to college, then it may be worth your time to consider putting him in Pueblo or her in Pueblo and getting them in trio and talent search for 3 or 4 years. Because we're going to take them out, we're going to explore colleges, we're going to introduce them to people like Andres, who's going to talk to them about believing in yourself and that you can do it. So it's I guess what I'm saying is it's not exactly closed, but those are the three schools that we work with.
And our job consists of recruiting. So the pandemic has been difficult for us to get that going because our presence is very important at the school sites. And this year has been very difficult being there at the schools because of all the COVID.
And since you mentioned
barriers.
that, how what are the the array of ways that you guys have been affected by COVID? Because I know there's been, whether it's our homeless veteran program we do, or we also do a program where we teach veterans how to do agriculture. We got floored, like whether it was with outreach or it was with recruitment or getting people into our classes. We were 10 times behind the 8 ball more than we were before. Like, how were you guys affected?
And believe me, we have been too, but it's been a challenge, like anything else. Collaboration has been a very key success to our students. So by collaborating with other programs, other trio programs, other programs throughout the community, through the college, has helped us gain an understanding and a learning experience for everyone.
Absolutely. You know, I'm sure you experienced this too. The toughest thing was everybody was telling people be afraid and be scared. So they shut down the schools. We couldn't hold graduation events last spring for the kids, the 2019-2020 graduates. We did a little drive-by thing in the parking lot and handed them out their tassels and stuff to celebrate. But that type of stuff, it was over. And there's a silver lining in most clouds, right? This guy was our silver lining, Andres, because it was through that situation that we actually discovered him and came into contact with him, because we were looking for a way to keep kids' spirits up, and that's what he does. Real Talk, I don't know if he's told you about his Real Talk program with us.
Well, he's told me that he was working with you. He certainly didn't get into details, but I mean, just when he told me he was working with you guys, I was just like, I couldn't stop patting him on the back. His shoulder was sore from me patting him on the back.
He's been an inspiration, yes.
We're really proud of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I had the honor to have at 8 p.m. every Friday night, we would get together and have the kids. We had talks about confidence, interpersonal skills, emotional intelligence, and just really encouraging them. And the emails that I've been getting from the kids, man, has been such an honor. Like it's been amazing, and to be able to talk to them and bring some just some hope has been such an honor. And it's an experience that I will never forget, honestly. I think for me, COVID was actually a lot of fun. I hate to say it that
Don't
way.
say
but
that out loud.
I know.
Go ahead and cut that out if you don't mind, Tom.
There were good moments.
Hey, I was able to serve, so that's why I was so grateful to be able to serve. But it's thanks to people like Roderick and Gabe and Diana, who's amazing, and Ernesto. I mean, and I've met so many amazing people too along the way. So it's been an honor to be able to help them out. So really cool.
We were
Thank you.
looking, Pastor, and we were kind of spitballing and all talking about, how are we going to reach out to the kids now?
Mm-hmm.
And we thought, because suicide was a real issue.
Mm-hmm.
Isolation was a real issue.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling depressed was a real issue.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought, well, let's have it late at night. Because what are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
Late at night,
Yeah. They can't go nowhere.
Yeah. They're sitting on their phones talking and sitting on their computers
It worked
playing.
out really well. Yes.
Yeah.
And it worked out real super.
Yeah.
Now we're back in school, so we've had to make some alterations and try and refocus it.
Mhm.
But I think we'll get it done. We have every intention of keeping it through the school year.
Nice. Well, we got about a minute left. Tell the people out there listening how they can connect with the TRIO program, how they can get more information about it.
We have a website that we're working on as well,
Okay.
where students can get that information through our website.
Mhm.
We have a Facebook page as well, a TRIO
Okay.
page, and then through the schools. We've been sending out flyers, emails to the students, to the parents, and trying to reach out to them. And our job, again, is to recruit.
Awesome.
And as Roderick has said in the past, our job is to be there, present, and help get that recruitment up and help these students move forward
Mm-hmm.
Go to the
Absolutely.
Pima web page
as well.
Put Trio or talent search into the engine.
Okay.
Will pop up.
Awesome.
Yes. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in here. Hopefully we can do this a lot more in the future.
Thank you guys. That was fun.
Thank you
Yes,
guys for
yes.
having
Oh
us.
my God, it was fun.
I told you.
Yeah, I told you. All right, so that is Roderick and Gabe with the TRIO program with Pima Community College. This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Those who have not yet got the opportunity, go to Veteran Thrift at 1118 North Jones Avenue. That's a thrift store that is helping our homeless veteran transition program, Veteran Rescue Mission, to better shelter and connect veterans with housing and benefits. Please go to 1118 North Jones to check it out, or go to www.veteranrescuemission.org for more information about the store.
So yeah, welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veterans Rescue Mission. For our second part of the show, we have a very special woman that I was able to connect with, super powerhouse. We always bring women who are powerhouses, man. Honestly, we've had so many women that are doing so much good for the community that we have to bring them on so that people can get to know them and get to see what they're doing for the community. So we have Liane Hernandez, the director of the Women's Leadership and Wellness Center for YWCA. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate
definitely.
it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate you for being here.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's just get this started. And asking you, Liane, with the first question is like, what is YWCA?
Well, thank you both. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three of you.
Yeah,
It's all
Tristan.
Tristan's idea.
Yeah, we're a trio here. Yeah.
Thank you for having me in this space.
Yeah.
I love to talk about the YWCA,
Mhm.
and it's really a movement.
Yeah.
And YWCA is the oldest multicultural women's organization in the country. We're part of an international movement as well with World YWCA.
Nice.
We've been around since, for about 185 years.
Okay.
Wow.
So
In-
you just started. in other
Yeah,
words.
just pups. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
We've been in Tucson and working in Tucson for about 104 years. So,
Huh.
Wow.
yeah,
Nice.
and doing a variety.
So as
a
old as
variety.
Tucson, pretty much.
Yeah,
Nice.
right.
That's beautiful.
And so we work in a lot of different areas, but we share a common mission with our sister organizations across the country, of which there are about 204 right now.
Okay.
And so our mission is eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. I always feel
Nice.
kind of like I need to take on the, Superman stance.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
As you should,
Wonder
yeah.
Woman.
Or
Yes.
Wonder Woman, yeah. Forget about Superman. Who's
I
that
know.
guy?
Who's that guy?
But yeah, so we work in collaboration with, these associations across the country and with this common purpose. But how it shows up in the local context is a little bit different for each organization.
Interesting.
So yeah, we have a local board and a local, local governance board and leadership from here in Tucson. And so right now our CEO's name is Magdalena Verdugo.
Okay.
And She was formerly with Chicanos por la Causa for a very long time. So she's been in
Okay.
the community for a very long time and doing incredible work. And she joined our team just as we started hearing glimmers of COVID in the world. And so she joined in January, and we shuttered in March of last year. And so it's been quite the adventure over this last almost 18 months now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
And I know I know a lot about the YWCA Center there on 4th Avenue, 6th Avenue.
Formerly on 6th.
Sixth
yeah,
Avenue,
the
yeah.
historic Y was
Yeah.
the original YWCA.
Okay.
In Tucson. Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm you have all the different people that are organizations that make up that. But tell us about the Women's Leadership and Wellness Center
Okay, sure.
among that.
Yeah, so, that building, the historic Y, was built initially for the YWCA back in the 30s and added onto in 55. But we moved out as an organization about 15 years ago, and we have a new administrative building.
Okay.
It's 15 years old. It's over on Bonita Avenue.
Okay.
And so our center is composed of a few different programs, the Women's Business Center being one of them,
Okay.
and the Women's Leadership Empowerment and Wellness Center being the other. And those are our arms of direct service. We also have a really robust administrative staff who makes it all work. There on Bonita, we have a space that houses 2 meeting rooms, our conference room and our boardroom, where we can host local organizations around trainings, public events.
Nice.
We also have at the WBC a smaller co-working space that we're developing, which is great. And then a few years ago, we acquired the House of Neighborly Service, which is in the city of South Tucson. And so that has always been, for the last 75 years, it's celebrating 75 years this year.
Wow.
It's always
I
been
know.
a
We're just
space.
celebrating a year today.
I know.
No big deal.
We got a ways to go, just a little bit.
It's another 74. There we go.
It's such a beautiful space. House of Neighborly Service is such an incredible space, both as a community hub, which it historically has been. It was the first integrated pool in Tucson. And it has over time been a space where folks could come and have basic needs met. So there's been a lot of different type of programming that has been conducted there. Under COVID, we had to shutter, and so it's been a little bit abandoned, if you will. Not abandoned, but much less usage. But we have been in the midst of a huge program around sustainability
Nice.
called the Green Champions Program. And that is a really multifaceted program that I'm happy to tell you about.
Please.
But basically what we're looking at is, how do we sustain this incredibly critical space in the city of South Tucson for the future? Not just programmatically, but also physically. How do we create a place where people can come and can be utilized intergenerationally? So there's 5 buildings on that property which can be mixed use. So we have some programs that we work with, community-based programs that are housed there and we're renting space. But we also have a classroom. We have our the Comadritas space, which is a senior program that is about socialization and food. But basically, it's a space where these older, aging women can come together and be with their friends,
Nice.
remember themselves, do engage in arts and crafts,
That's
and
really
also
cool.
just be with each other. And and then there's also a basketball court that we are refurbishing right now. There's a walking path. There's lots of plans on how to green up the space and to
Sounds
share
amazing.
sustainable practices with the neighborhood.
That's really good stuff, especially for the elderly people. They really need that, because some of them are just alone and they just need that company, and that could go as far as keeping them alive, keeping them
Absolutely.
happy. So I love definitely what you're doing, and want to hear more about what you got going on. But right now we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Just real quick.
Just real quick.
Just real quick.
Yes.
Not much time.
Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by the Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Tristan, and I'm with Pastor John McClain and Andreas Sherwees.
Boom. Got it, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. That was it. No butchering right there
No
at all.
butchering.
You
No
got
butchering
it.
needed.
You got
Yeah.
it.
See, I guess we got to practice
He's got
what
it.
comes after that in the future, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and be like, now in studio with us, we have Liane Hernandez, the director of the Women's Leadership and Wellness Center with the YWCA. I know that's a lot. I don't expect you to say
He-
that, but in the future, we'll
He,
have
I'm
to.
telling you, man, he's gonna get there, and
Yeah.
before you know it,
I'm gonna
we
steal
we
your
won't
job.
even be here.
Yeah, we'll
It's just gonna be Tristan's show, and that's
I'll,
it,
I'll
man.
still come because they're paying me.
I'll
but
come to
just-
watch.
I'll
You
just
know,
sit back
I'll
and
come sit down in the corner and just watch. That's
Uh-huh.
about it.
Yeah,
But
and he'll be like, okay, Liane, so tell us about the
Yep,
YWCA.
yep.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, this, yeah.
That's the future, man. So
Yeah.
but and, again, we have Liane Hernandez, director of the Women's Leadership and Wellness Center, and we didn't really touch on that. So I really want to hear about that, and tell us about the Women's Leadership and Wellness Center, and
Yeah.
that you're a part of. Tell us a little bit about that. Actually, a lot of it I want to hear about.
Yeah, it's such a robust area. I have to say that first.
Yeah,
We
it seems
have
like
a
it.
lot
Yeah.
of programming that it really touches a wide swath of the community. And so we recently acquired in October Pima County Teen Court. And so that's a
Cool.
diversion
Yeah.
program for youth, teens. And it's a training program and leadership development program at the end of the day as well.
Nice.
And it's
That's
about illustrating and showing youth leadership skills, how to advocate for each other and themselves, and
Nice.
to build real relationships. And it's just an incredible program that I feel so lucky to be able to just have a little piece of,
Mhm.
And so that's run with an incredible team of youth, as well as Kate Spalding is a program manager there.
Okay.
Nice.
And Elizabeth Alria, she is a coordinator, and they do incredible work. They've been doing this work for a real long time. And so it's an advocacy space, and it's also just such an empowering type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
If anybody's interested, they're always looking for volunteers. So if anybody
Okay.
wants
Okay,
to
yeah.
volunteer with that would be great.
Yeah.
I think that empowerment is really the undergirding power of this center. Everything we do is about helping people meet their own goals
Mm-hmm.
and feeling empowered enough to take control and directing their lives. So we have, like, as I said, Teen Court. Also, we have the Latina Leadership Institute, which is run
Nice.
by Imelda Esquer, and that is a whole network of programming that is all about developing women, getting them to a point where they can make some goals, set some goals for themselves, and then achieve them. And it's a beautiful set of programs. Right now, it includes some of our workforce development as well, so English as a second language and GED.
Nice.
But the core programming is around Mi Vida, which is a personal empowerment program.
Nice.
And we also have some peer educators called the promotoras who do work around sexual and domestic violence.
Okay.
So that has been such an incredible space, because we found that within some internal surveys that a lot of our participants were survivors, 65% to be exact.
Wow.
And so we were finding that we really needed to adapt and ensure that we were not just providing empowering programming for them, but also that the staff understood trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so towards that end, a course has been developed around trauma-informed care and programming, and so we're using that as a basis from which the facilitators work as well. So it's a really beautiful set of programs. And then because we're working also with a lot of moms, there was just the need to, understand and to be able to speak to each other. How do you maintain that communication with your young people?
Mm-hmm.
And so a few years ago, a program called Mujeres y Niñas was developed, and it's all about sexual education. And so it's a body positive program conducted in Spanish. There's
Nice.
lots of common language developed. Moms learn about all of these taboo subjects that maybe have shown up for them, and their daughters learn these languages separately, and then they come together and can have real conversations.
Cool.
So
That's
it's a really
cool.
beautiful set of programs. Under COVID, we had to make a couple of adjustments. Everything had to go online, which seems like a huge issue. And it was a huge pivot. but I think it was through, some encouragement and also just having a sensibility of it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Not putting perfection before progress. And so we really, just embraced it and moved all of our programs online from the WBC, which is the Women's Business Center, all the way through all of our wellness programming, up and including our Women's Counseling Network, which is another program that is run through this center. There's a whole constellation of different interlocking programs that folks can get involved in. And it's all based on, people acquiring the skills, being able to ask questions, and then determining their answers for themselves. And then we try to provide the support necessary to help them meet their goals.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely seems like there's kind of, like you're saying, a large swath of the population that you guys take care of. I mean, there's elderly, there's women. I mean, I think
girls.
I heard, girls in there. What inspired you to get into this type of work?
Yeah, I came to Tucson to go to college, and it was in this space that I started to learn about Chicano studies and history and kind of my place in the world as a Chicana. And that has always been such a driving force for me as an individual. I did work in a different field for a very long time. I was a chef for a long time in the community. Yeah.
Nice.
And
what's your best dish?
What's my best dish?
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting question.
This is off a couple. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. What do I enjoy? There's something about the production of a table.
Okay.
I was very lucky, and I got to do banquets, and that was my area. And so I got to participate in people's best, worst, and most difficult days sometimes, right?
Oh, okay.
From
really nice.
from birthing to weddings to to anniversaries to banquets around remembrance. And so I think that for me, it's always been about what happens at the table and how do we create that space where we can face one another,
Yes,
and have conversations. So
absolutely.
while the food has always been important, and don't get me wrong, that's always
I love
important. To me, it's all about the community that's built and what is possible when we face each other and can see each other as fellow humans.
Nice.
Right?
I love that.
And
That's
so
cool.
that's kind of been like a through wire for me, which has really guided some of my work. So I came to the YWCA to start a cafe and catering program, and also was really able to start doing advocacy work again as well, back to my college days.
Nice.
And I think that working in that space of creating the possibility for the consideration of change is a spectacular space to be within, right? Because I think a lot of folks go through their world just so focused on trying to get by,
Yep.
right? Trying to be seen,
Yep.
trying to make a living, that we don't always ask or create space for those bigger questions of like, okay, so you have a living, but what's your life? What do we leave behind? What's your legacy?
Nice.
And to me, like those questions are the ones that are really compelling and really necessary to have with everybody. Everybody has hopes, dreams, and wishes, right?
Yes.
And so like being able to be a part of that space to creating those, if you will, safe or brave spaces where people can consider something different, to me is really beautiful.
That is beautiful because you get to give them the opportunity to finally speak what's been in them for years. Like I've had clients where after 20 years, they're like, I finally spoke out what I always wanted to do in my whole life. And some of them never speak it out, and they keep it to themselves, and they take regrets. But I really love that you bring that out of the, Latinos. And what do you feel has been like the biggest challenge to help them overcome these challenges that they feel that they deal with to get to their goals and their dreams?
I think it's important for people to recognize that there is the component of personal, responsibility, if you will, but we also live within, exist within systems, and being able to acknowledge and understand the systems in which we must operate in order to imagine something different is a critical skill.
Wow.
Right? It is
It
important.
is. I agree.
You
100%.
can't, we are impacted by systems all the time, be they, biological systems or, political systems or environment or however you show that shows up. Being able to see that, acquire the language, all of those things. I mean, people know what they live, right? It's like, it's not like the YWCA is bestowing upon anybody, this is what progress looks like. It's like creating that space from which to listen, right? Including to oneself.
Yes, 100%.
Right. And
Yes.
and I think like we understand, anybody who talks to anybody else understands that purpose, living a purposeful life is really important, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Connection to
yes.
purpose is what allows you to get up in the morning sometimes, and everybody deserves to have that conversation about connecting to their purpose.
Beautiful.
And our purpose is more than just like making a buck, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
no,
important. We got to
absolutely.
eat. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I have
Yeah.
no illusions about that. But that we have to have spaces in which we can build community to truly begin to discover what our connection to purpose is.
Yeah.
Well said, man.
Oh, awesome. Well, that's a
I learned a
perfect
lot today, man.
exclamation point to this
That was
interview,
cool.
huh?
I'm just gonna listen the whole time.
Yeah,
This was
good.
beautiful.
We're just
Yeah.
sitting, I would like
Thank you
grab
so
a
much
pillow,
for.
lay down and get comfortable.
I
This
know,
works.
I know,
Just
man. We could talk like for
Go over
hours
me.
here, man. This was beautiful. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.